कुमार स्वामी नायक गोंगो लिबू लटोका रेडियो फीजी 2 में पुराना गाना लगे हमें बहुत अच्छा लगे.
Radio Fiji 2.
In the news tonight, better security needed for police exhibits. PM wants schools built back better. And FNPF rushes to pay out TC Yasa application.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Edwin Nunn.
Pulavinaka, security around police exhibit rooms at all police stations are being strengthened after evidence started going missing. Acting Police Commissioner Rusiate Tundravu says while police officers are being held accountable, there are external elements influencing these officers. Pranita Prakash reports a case in court had to be discontinued last month after more than 2 kilograms of cocaine went missing from the Namaka police station.
If there's any wrongdoing, you face the full brunt of it.
Police officers have been warned that items secured in exhibit rooms are not to be touched.
Yeah, our internal investigation has been done to see the process and system on the keeping. We have measures in place, especially on hard drugs, where they are placed.
All police stations are supposed to have an exhibit writer on duty all the times, logging in the items brought in and keeping track of who accesses evidence. Tundravu says they are now searching for officers who remove exhibits for personal gain.
So our process is we send them on leave. If you have leave, you go on leave. After your leave, investigation is still ongoing. I decide. Have pay, no pay, depends on the degree of the offence that has been committed.
Even the general public believes the force needs to bring in strict measures to safeguard personal items seized as evidence.
Some police officers are responsible and faithful police officers, and more CCTV.
I think more officers should be stationed in the exhibit rooms to ensure safety of evidence.
Police officers should be vigilant in their monitoring, and they should install CCTV cameras.
The Fiji Police Force says it wants to make headlines for the right reasons rather than indiscipline. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama says there is a need to build back stronger schools. Bainimarama is on a tour of the Northern Division and was visiting TCSA affected schools in Bua and Raketi today when he made the comment. Eleanor Turangaivu reports.
9-year-old Vivian Tuimanu and her brother William today revisited their favorite place in school, the library at Mbua District School.
I used to love coming here and reading the different kinds of books. Our teacher would bring our class here and we would sit and read.
The library, along with the main office block, 2 classrooms, the storeroom, the kindergarten and several teachers' quarters were severely damaged by tropical cyclone Yasa.
All the material inside has been totally damaged.
Today, the Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama got to witness the damage sustained at the school. Bua District School is one of 25 schools in Vanuatu that suffered substantial damage along with their teachers' quarters.
You see a lot of tents being put up for classroom and for teachers' quarters, but we still need to build a strong classroom and strong teachers' quarters, public buildings. We'll be looking at that over the next couple of weeks.
Bainimarama also visited Lomboi Sanatan Primary School, Lekutu Secondary School, Monindevo Sanatan Primary School, and Maramarua District School in Raketi, checking on the progress of the rehabilitation works currently underway.
You will note that the engineers and the ADF are trying to put things back together before school starts on the 19th.
The Prime Minister has also commended UNICEF for their tremendous support in the provision of tents that will serve as temporary classrooms in the severely affected schools. Eleanor Turangaivu, FBC News.
Rehabilitation at Ngaloa Island Primary School in Bua is almost complete. Australian Defence Force engineers carrying out reconstruction and repairs hope to finish everything by Friday. Eleanor Turangaivu was at Ngaloa Island earlier and filed this report.
Since their arrival at Ngaloa Island Primary School, these Australian Defence Forces personnel wasted no time in getting the severely damaged school fixed.
Our scope of works has included repairing the roof on the board house for the kids and also rebuilding the classroom which you see behind me, as all that was left was the floor.
About 20 ADF personnel from the 6th Engineer Support Regiment, along with 10 RFMF engineers, are undertaking the rehabilitation work, with materials being provided by the ADF.
At this stage, we're looking to complete the school at the end of the 15th of January, the classroom, and then we may stay around for 2 or 3 more days after that.
The school committee puts the estimated cost of damage between $20,000 to $30,000.
After the cyclone, we were worried about how we were going to repair all the damage that the school sustained, but when the ADF came and did all the repairs, we can only be grateful.
The ADF personnel aim to hand over the school to the management by late Friday and are expected to undertake several more tasks before leaving Aloha on the 19th. Eleanor Turangaiviu, FBC News.
The Fiji National Provident Fund is racing against time to pay out all TCIASA relief applications by Friday. Over 4,800 applications have been received, but only 1,761 or 37% have been paid. Koroi Tandulala reports $2.49 million has been paid out so far.
The delay in payment is being caused by the difficulty in inspecting damaged homes in Vanuatu.
So for those members that have sought out this assistance, we plead with you, please give us some time this week to clear all the processing and pay to your members' account by the end of the week.
The declaration of a state of natural disaster ends this Saturday, meaning the FNPF has only 2 days to process more than 3,000 applications and inspect damaged homes. The fund is urging members to be mindful of their withdrawals as it will impact their retirement savings.
To save the money for the rainy days, because you don't know when you're gonna do and what you're gonna do in future.
It's not bad to seek assistance. However, people should be aware not to exhaust their retirement savings.
People don't want to retire with nothing in their savings, and this is why people should be cautious.
Thousands of Fijians affected by the COVID-19 dipped into their FNPF funds to sustain their financial hardships.
More than 24,000 members have zero balance in their account, 11,800 have only $5,000 or less, and only 93 people above the retirement age have over $500,000 as balance. Koroi Tandulala, FBC News.
The meat industry has turned to local consumers to fill the gap left by the closure of the tourism industry. Businesses which used to supply meat to hotels and resorts say they're actually selling more to everyday Fijians than they did to the entire tourism sector. Apanisa Wangairandovo reports this is partly due to reduced prices.
Leading butchers which relied on wholesale tourism orders have found local consumption is better than commercial sales, which have been halted by COVID-19.
Retail has been actually doing well for us. That retail has been keep us surviving during this COVID-19 actually.
Lelands Limited says as sales in tourism dropped, they quickly restructured their business to tap into over-the-counter sales.
The customers nowadays are very price sensitive. We're just concentrating on still trying to maintain that quality and yet trying to find value for money.
With reduced prices, most businesses have seen more customers walking through their doors. For Ali's Halal Butcher in Nambua, supply to restaurants has been affected, but all 10 employees have kept their jobs thanks to counter sales.
Previous years we were doing, during the Christmas period we were doing 40 kettles. This year we have dropped 30. Counter service is quite good. We do a lot of counter service, but
Owner of Eden Bistro and Bar, Sangeeta Maharaj, says price reductions are being passed on to customers.
I mean, usually a serve would have been $45 for an eye fillet. Now we have taken it down to $25. So you can see it's a lot more affordable. And I mean, I think in all the restaurants are utilizing this.
Barbecue lamb chops, lamb shank and luncheons are popular with customers. Supply to hotels is slowly peaking thanks to the Love Our Locals campaign. Apiniso Wangairandovo, FBC News.
Up ahead, real estate agents advised to diversify. And farming pays the bills. Stay with us.
मैं तो दिल्ली में रहता हूँ और रेडियो फीजी रोज सुनता हूँ.
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन.
Welcome back. Real estate agents are being advised to relook at their costs due to a decrease in commissions from sales. Bayshore Real Estate Director Arif Khan says because of a decline in property prices, commissions have dropped by as much as 50%. Kritika Kumar reports agents must work smart.
A major slump in property sales has forced most agents to relook at operations and find alternatives to sustain their business.
Something we have been able to sustain ourselves, and the agents have been able to sustain. They just have to work smarter and harder and keep your costs down, because the commissions have gone down.
Khan adds property prices have dropped across the board and consumer confidence is at a low. Most people are making offers much lower than the valuation price.
For the past 6 months, we've been seeing a decline in the rental market up to 50%. And in the residential and commercial sales, the market has declined up to 30%.
The Real Estate Agents Licensing Board says the once lucrative sector is taking a hit.
There is a drop in the sales of properties, and properties which are less than 500,000 are being sold in the recent months. But above that, there is some difficulty for the owners to get the buyers for those property at that price.
Dr. Hassan says agents should diversify into other areas while staying active in the real estate sector. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
Businesses in Nandi are seeing many parents using vouchers to buy school items. The jet-set town continues to be the worst affected by COVID-19, with Fijians still unemployed. Philippa Naikaso has more.
The scenario for businesses in Nandi hasn't changed. Sales still continue to plummet as people's buying power has dropped drastically.
Nandi area is most affected in COVID, and plenty people they don't have job. Some people are just don't have enough money to buy the uniforms and other things.
A few parents we spoke to say they had to sacrifice during the festive season.
Instead of doing my Christmas shopping, I did my son's stationery shopping first. And now since the school is beginning, I'm trying to get his uniform done.
It's very different, not like before. Before you can do some plenty shopping like that. And this time it's very hard time.
Going on our way to town and just to go and check out some of the prices of the stuff.
This particular bookshop in Nandi used to make $6,000 a day during back-to-school shopping. Now they're just hitting $500 a day.
There are a lot of vouchers coming from all sorts of primary schools. Normally primary schools are coming more now.
Compared to last year and previous years, these businesses would be packed out with parents doing back-to-school shopping. However, that's not the case this year, as the effects of COVID-19 can still be felt here in Nandi. Philippa Naikaso, FBC News.
With the effects of the pandemic persisting, many people have resorted to farming. 40-year-old Ronald Prasad of Sambetu Nandi says farming was the best alternative for him after losing his job. Dipesh Kumar reports.
Producing a variety of vegetables and selling livestock means Prasad will be able to send his son to school this year.
I used to work in a hotel. They shortened my hours and there was a point where I had no work. So now I have resorted to farming.
The family always had a subsistence farm, but this is now being used as the main source of income contracted to the Agro Marketing Authority. While Prasad has managed to provide for his family since COVID-19, he has found strength through his wife, who also toils on the farm.
All wives can help their husbands by doing something at home. It also helps them a lot in the farm.
For many, farming has been a lifelong source of livelihood. However, for those affected by the pandemic, it has become a source of survival. Dipesh Kumar, FBC News.
Businesses and residents in Lodala Beach industrial area in Suva have objected to a proposed asphalt plant project. A second public review meeting was held today by Higgins Fiji Limited in the presence of the Ministry of Environment officials. A petition was signed by 565 people who are concerned with pollution and environmental impacts from the plant. Most businesses around the proposed site are food processing companies, and their concern is that if pollution levels increase, they could be in danger of losing their health certification and accreditation. The petitioners say while they don't oppose the investment, they believe the chosen site is not appropriate. Permanent Secretary for Environment Joshua Wycliffe says all views will be taken into consideration. 64 women today graduated from the Makoi Women's Vocational Center, with some certified as caregivers. Head trainer May-Marie Taito says this is the first batch of caregiver graduates, not just for the center, but for Fiji. Sanya Nimboila reports.
21 women from the center today graduated with the Aged Care and Community Care Level 3 certificates accredited by the Fiji Higher Education Commission.
It's the first in many ways. One, this is the first time we are teaching here at Makoi Women's Vocational Training Center. And two, after this curriculum had been written up by APTC representatives for Fiji Higher Education Commission, we were the first one to use it.
Women's Minister Mereseni Vuniwaga says they will continue to support the center as it has helped thousands of underprivileged women.
Our support to the center was encouraged by the fact that the Makoi Women's Training Center allows developmental opportunities to the underprivileged and disadvantaged women of our society.
Vuniwaga adds the center has helped hundreds of women become economically active, and some have started their own business employing other women. The Makoi Women's Vocational Center provides free education to women that needs it. A total of 1,260 women has so far graduated from this center. Sainia Nimboila, FBC News.
Overseas, U.S. President Donald Trump, facing impeachment on a charge of incitement of insurrection, has denied responsibility for his supporters' violent invasion of the U.S. Capitol. Trump says his remarks before the siege were appropriate. And time now for Business with Whitney.
Thanks, Edwin. Coming up in business tonight, payment options for unpaid rates. And in growing Fiji, Nandi business adopts new strategy. Stay with us.
कुमार साहब नायक है गोंगवा लुगु लटोका रेडियो फीजी 2 में पुराना गाना लगे हमें बहुत अच्छा लगे
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन.
The Nasinu Town Council is on track to recovering rate arrears. Special Administrator Bhaskaran Nair says customers affected by COVID-19 can make payment arrangements with the council to avoid the 11% interest and legal costs. Nair says around 4,725 ratepayers have accumulated arrears. The Nasinu Town Council is offering 7% discount on the current rate payment only if full payment is made in the next 2 months.
We would like them to come to us, talk to us, see if they can, develop some sort of a payment plan with us so that they can pay and we can move forward, see.
We now join Rocco from HFC Bank with the latest from the money market.
Good evening. The US dollar nursed losses as the retreat in US yield shattered momentum from its recent rebound, and investors cautiously resumed bets that it can continue sliding. Investors expect to usher in huge sums of government borrowing to fund big spending stimulus plans, and have figured that higher US rates might make dollars more attractive later. Against the euro, the US dollar posted its sharpest daily fall in more than a month, dropping more than 1%. It was also boosted by the Bank of England's governor's response on the prospect of negative rates. Traders will now await the US inflation figures due tonight, so we'll wait to see how this will have an impact on our Fiji dollar. Meanwhile, closer to home, the Aussie and Kiwi dollars rose from 1-week lows, lifting the Aussie above 77 cents and the Kiwi over 72 cents respectively against USD. That's all for now from HFC Bank. Vinaka.
Here are the local exchange rates as set early this morning. The Fiji dollar was pegged higher against the Chinese yuan, US greenback, euro and the Japanese yen. It lost ground to our two major trading partners, the Aussie and Kiwi dollars, as well as the PNG kina. Prices were a rise on the commodities market. Oil prices rose to just over $53 a barrel. Gold rose to $1,860 per ounce, and silver closed up at $25.73 an ounce. With the business environment not improving anytime soon due to the effects of COVID-19, a Nandi businessman has decided to change his approach. The Namaka-based Fried Chicken Planet restaurant is seriously looking at further cutting down on their costs in order for their business to survive. As fast food restaurants become a luxury during this hard time, the Namaka-based business has even changed the pricing of their food. In 2019, the shop opened its second restaurant in Nandi town, and according to the owner, if any opportunity arises for expansion, they will not think twice as they have confidence in the economy.
Even though we are reducing prices in some of our meals, we don't compromise quality. Whatever we do, we still stick to our halal stuffs for Muslim brothers, and the rest of the people, we keep ours. The environment we have is clean, sanitized. Our kitchen is clean, and we maintain good quality, and we are not going to compromise the quality and the service provided at any cost.
And that's it from Business Tonight. We now join Jamie with the latest in sports.
Thanks, Whitney, and good evening. Ahead in sports, first boxing promotion confirmed. And Sikivo triumphs after 14 years. This and more coming up.
मरसानी नायका गोंगवा लुबू लटोका रेडियो फीजी 2 में
Former welterweight champion Joseph Kwajo is returning to the boxing scene and will be challenging South Pacific Boxing Championship cruiserweight title holder Alibreti Kauyada. Promoter Freddie Chanda says they want to kickstart the year with thrilling bouts. He says this is one of the 4 promotions that South Pacific Boxing has in store for 2021. Chand adds Ronald the Terminator Naidu will fight Sebastian Singh's younger brother Nathaniel for the lightweight title.
It will be another great show. Nathan has been amateur champion of Fiji, and Ronald Naidu is our professional champion, but he'll be going to another division to get that title. So we got 2 good title showdown. Apart from that, we got Fiji's light heavyweight champion, Savnathan Naliva, also in this event. He'll be fighting against Ironi Longolo.
Following his last international outing before the lockdown, Olympian Winston Hill has been off the amateur boxing radar for some time. Focusing on his box-fit business, the Pacific Games silver medalist says he's not ready to hang up his gloves yet and will get back into the ring sometime soon. As Vindina Rakautonga reports, Hill has for now set his eyes on coaching.
The welterweight champion believes he still has a few rounds left in him.
Still in the amateur scene, supporting and training upcoming fighters. We've got a club of young talent that we've been training.
Hill believes up-and-coming boxers also deserve to get their big break.
What this also does, it gives opportunity to upcoming boxers that spot in the 69 kg division that I've been dominating for the last 5 years. It gives them that opportunity to represent their communities, their families.
Boxing Fiji President Manasa Mbaravilala says the door is always open for Hill to return to the ring.
Winston has been a great ambassador inside and outside the ring for boxing. He goes out as the captain of the Team Fiji boxing team. But, as you know, in the last year, has been very focused on his business.
The welterweight champion is juggling between training a few amateur boxers and running his gym. Venina Rakautonga, FBC Sports.
14 years of chess paid off today for Taione Sikivo, victor of the 2020 Fiji National Chess Championship. Candidate Master Sikivo, on his way to victory, recorded an upset over someone who is synonymous with Fiji chess. Aquila Dama with the story.
A master's touch proved to be the difference today after years of trying.
Yeah, this is the first time that I've won the national champion. It's been a long time coming. I started playing chess when I was 16 years old, and I've been playing throughout high school and university, so I feel super elated to finally win this tournament today after so many years of playing chess.
The championship, which started on the weekend, ended today after 9 rounds. Sikivo, who hails from Narovido in Rewa, defeated former champion candidate Master Manoj Kumar in round 4.
He was my toughest opponent, and that game was really tough. We went down to the wire. We played almost close to 4 hours in that game, and I was able to come away with the victory, and that victory really propelled me to winning this tournament in the end.
Sikivo's upset win over Kumar is an indication of where Fiji chess is heading.
Our players are progressing and getting better and better, and we're never stagnant where you'd stand at the top and seem undefeated or like it's impossible to defeat you, because we have our players consistently developing.
26 players were part of the 5-day 2020 Fiji National Championship. Aquila Dama, FBC Sports.
Back in the Skipper Cup after being relegated last season, Rewa intends to stick with its homegrown players in 2021. The same group fought its way out of the Tier 2 competition, and the Rewa Rugby Union has full faith they have what it takes to maintain a place in the top league. Caroline Itavi has more.
Rewa always maintained that the team that was relegated would return to the Skipper Cup with a vengeance.
Majority of the players that we brought in 2018 were also in 2019. These are the same players that we will keep using this year again in the Skipper Cup. We are breeding our players locally.
Team Secretary Petero Kaveni says if they start recruiting from other districts, players from within Rewa might leave the club.
Preparation is still normal as it was from last year. We will take each game as it comes. Now that we are back in the Skipper Cup, and with Nandi being the first team we will take on, we are ready for the fair brother.
While other teams in the Skipper Cup boost a depth of talent and national reps, Rewa coach Ro Aliveretti Ndovivarata can't count on the same pedigree when selecting his team.
We've got our selection criteria regarding the players that we want in the team. We've been using that over the years, and it's no exception for this year.
The Rewa Rugby Union will be hosting its first open trials on Saturday at the Lokia grounds from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Caroline Itavi, FBC Sports.
Weightlifting Fiji wants to regain its position as a respected fraternity producing the top competitors in the region. Currently going through a rebuilding phase after the departure of leading figures, including administrators and athletes, those that remain at the helm of the sport believe there are much brighter days ahead. Tali Materakula reports.
Drive.
The mission is to take weightlifting Fiji to greater heights.
Those who are in at this point in time, we're still working hard with them. And so the training that we're doing here is a long-term one. And it's a challenging one, but it's something that we know that we can achieve.
The biggest embarrassment was the departure of Olympian Manuel Itulo, who has Oceania and Pacific Games medals to his name. Eileen Vikamatana, who won gold in the 2018 Commonwealth Games, also left for greener pastures. Scouting for talent, the sport is tapping into all provinces in Fiji.
We start with provinces like Mosi and Serua, and we see a lot of talent there. We hope to move out to Naitasiri and eventually branch right out to the west and then over to Honolulu.
President Delashaw Elder says a number of young promising athletes are coming through and they will be a force to reckon with in the near future.
In the 49 category, Ronnie was placed fifth in the world youth. So that is a very good good development for Fiji, and we know that this young boy is going to be the next champion.
14-year-old Eroni Talimingau and 7 others are preparing for sanctioned meets for the 2022 Commonwealth Games. Tali Materkula, FBC Sports.
In play of the day, patience, power and precision paid off for Paul Pogba, who scored a perfectly timed goal for Manchester United in their 1-0 victory over Burnley today. The win giving United the much-needed 3 points that's taken them top of the English Premier League table. That's it from Sports Tonight. In new media, futuristic robots that could be in your homes soon. Find out more after the break.
मैं तो दिल्ली में रहता हूँ और रेडियो फीजी रेडियो फीजी रोज सुनता हूँ.
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन.
A trough of low pressure lies to the southwest of the group. Associated cloud and showers expected to affect the southwestern parts of the country. Looking to the west, partly cloudy with isolated afternoon or evening showers. Eastwards from Pacific Harbour to Suva, mostly sunny today with afternoon or evening showers and thunderstorms forecast. And up north there is a chance of showers and thunderstorms later tonight. At sea, northeasterly winds 10 to 15 knots with moderate seas. Turning to the tides, the next low tide is at 1:03 a.m. tomorrow, while high tide is at 8:03 a.m. Sunrise is at 6:46. For tomorrow, partly cloudy with afternoon or evening showers and isolated thunderstorms. Looking ahead, occasional showers and isolated afternoon thunderstorms over the northeastern parts and interior of the larger islands. Afternoon or evening showers and thunderstorms elsewhere. And in Fijian Pulse tonight, we ask, are garbage collectors properly equipped for the job?
They just should be provided with the proper gear, including uniforms, clothing, gloves, all sanitary stuff.
You never know what is in someone's trash, and they need to have the right gear for the job.
I believe they should have the proper gear because it is also an OHS matter.
They should definitely be provided the proper sanitary items to protect them while they are at work.
Animal lovers are celebrating the birth of a rare rhinoceros on the endangered species list. The rhino is one of just over 3,000 in the entire world. Recapping our main stories, police review security at exhibit rooms, PM wants schools built back better, and meat industry sees more sales among locals. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. To our poll question, this week we are asking, should loans and scholarships for medical studies be suspended this year? Visit our FBC News website to answer. And on to our shot of the day, a colorful sunset in Siberia, Lambasa, sent in by Louise Frank. You can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via our various social media accounts including Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. That's your news for this evening. I'll see you again tomorrow. Until then, stay safe. Modemanda.
कुमारस्वामी नायक गोंगवा लुगु लटोका रेडियो फीजी 2 में पुराना गाना लगे, हमें बहुत अच्छा लगे.
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन.